Hell no, brother. This is only 19 minutes. I'll watch this, though. This just got posted.
On May 8th, 2021, a woman named Malie Perales was driving down the Packer Drive Northeast Road alongside the Rogue River in Belmont, Michigan. She and her two roommates were on their way back after a night out, and they were all in a cheerful mood. However, their smiles quickly vanished as they stumbled onto a horrifying scene. At around 2:30 a.m., while driving near the Rogue Hollow Court, one of the passengers spotted a strange figure lurking by the side of the road. This encounter was extremely terrifying, but it also sparked the group's curiosity, and after some deliberation, they decided to turn around, and this is what they then came across.
Oh, brother.
What the?
No,
Stop.
I'm not.
Oh.
No, hell no.
What the?
Yeah, what do you mean, stop? Boy, are you gonna go pick him up? You gonna hop out the car and help that nigga? I'm not stopping for shit.
Soaked.
They saw what looked like a young woman drenched from head to toe as if she had just crawled out of the nearby river. She also looked like she was crying, banging her head on the road and waving for help. Malie posted the video of this encounter on TikTok and it instantly went viral, leading people to come up with all sorts of far-fetched theories about ghosts, spirits, etc. However, as wild as the theories got, Malie later posted several videos shutting them down and revealing what really happened. According to her, they kept circling back and driving past the disturbed woman several times after recording the first video to make sure she was okay. While none of them had the nerve to get out of the car and approach her, they did call the cops and waited nearby until help arrived. The woman was then taken to a nearby hospital where she was
Well, at least they didn't do all of that for nothing. They went around and then, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a stranger. You're just gonna be up your door for a motherfucker you don't know? In this day and age, no, sir.
for cold exposure. As it turns out, she somehow fell into the Rogue River from the east side and swam across it onto the road.
Yep, she had to have come up out of the water. Yep, there's a dig spot there. So she came up from down there. That's had to have been why she was so wet. This was the spot that she had left. I don't know why or what was going on.
That's
After
crazy.
regaining some
So what happened?
composure, she also
Oh, what she
revealed
was
that the
running
woman
from?
was from Kalamazoo, a town that's over 60 miles from where she was found. However, she
Okay.
had no recollection of how she got to Belmont and fell in a river so far away from home.
See?
From what we know, she was most likely experiencing a severe mental break, where her memory gap was caused by a rare condition known as fugue state, something we covered in our previous video on the most disturbing mental disorders. For those who don't know, a fugue state is a rare condition where a person suddenly loses their memory and starts acting like someone else. They might wander off, travel long distances, or do things completely out of character without
What?
realizing anything is wrong.
Act like
It's usually
somebody
triggered
else.
by extreme stress or trauma, and once it's over, the person often has no memory of what happened. And while this condition is quite rare,
That is
all the
weird.
signs suggest that's exactly what happened to this mysterious woman from Kalamazoo, especially since the authorities later found
Kalamazoo?
a car parked behind a random house just east of the river. She likely drove to that neighborhood on her own but had zero memory of doing so, which fits perfectly with the known symptoms of fugue state. Malie also shared her video in a local Facebook group, hoping to find more answers about
But
what
it's
went
like,
down.
you go chop it all up to
Unfortunately, the
one little
responses
thing?
she received
I
weren't
don't
as
know.
helpful as she'd hoped, since most people in the neighborhood believe the screaming and noises were just the sounds of a wild animal, like a coyote. But there were a few responses that deepened the mystery. Like this one person who remembered meeting her earlier that same night, stating, "Saw this person between Van Dam and Packer Woods around 10:15 p.m. Friday. Asked her if she needed help, to which she responded no." Another person also mentioned hearing about a woman walking into his neighbor's house, yelling hello 3 times and then leaving on her own. And while this added further evidence supporting the fugue state theory, these responses still left a key question unanswered. Who was she? Malie tried to contact both the police and the hospital for answers, but despite her insistence, both the police officers and the hospital staff refused to reveal her real name. That said, we still have enough information to make an educated guess. Based on everything I could uncover, the mysterious woman in this unsettling video was most likely Mei Zhou. She was a 28-year-old Chinese woman who went missing from Kalamazoo on May 6, 2021. Before her disappearance, she told her friends that she felt like she was being followed by a stalker she met online.
And you ran
Unfortunately,
away by yourself? Why would you run away by yourself if you know that nigga is watching you? That is the worst thing to do.
These are the only details about
That's
her
the worst
case that
thing
were
to do.
made public.
By
I
yourself.
couldn't find
Where
any
you
clear
going?
answers on whether the stalker was real or if
Seek
she was just
help.
overwhelmed by paranoia. In either case, the constant fear and stress of feeling watched likely drove her to slip into some variation of the fugue state we discussed earlier.
Possibly.
Hopefully,
get
she
away from
received
that
the
balcony
mental
then.
help she
Chill
desperately
out.
needed and is now in a better mental state than she once was.
Oh, she's
Really
good.
needed and is now in a better mental state than she once was.
Well, I'm hoping she's good. I'm
Tracking
hoping
down
she's
a missing
okay.
person can be an extremely daunting task.
This
but
is an
trying
ad.
to there's some and when you're often you can know scares to 2024.
Well, you're not
Streamer
sli-
Lacey
La-
and his friend Clicks were
What
doing
is
an
Lacey
IRL
doing
live
on
stream
this
in
shit?
Miami, Florida. The two were simply going around town and
What?
having
Okay,
fun.
okay. Look, I cannot really take this serious right now. What the hell is this shit, bro? Why is Lacey and Clicks on this shit, bro? What's going on, bro? What is this? Why are we on the chilling scares missing persons found? Is this that LA shit?
What they didn't realize was that this stream would end up saving someone's life. It happened a few hours into the stream when they sat down at the Starlight Hotel Cafe for lunch. As they waited to order, a guy
Hold
walked
on,
up to
bro.
their table wearing nothing but neon green shorts. Lacey and Clicks initially assumed he was just another fan eager to talk to his favorite streamers, a pretty typical scenario for a popular IRL streamer.
It looks.
But something about this young man didn't sit right. He was trying to keep a conversation going, but his words were slurred and nothing he said really made sense.
Hey, are you sparring, bro? Are you sparring? Yo, you good, bro? Doing what?
The streamers figured he was either drunk or on some kind of drugs.
My
For
gosh.
content, they started poking fun at him a bit before shifting their focus back to their stream. But the guy continued to linger around, acting very odd and saying unintelligible sentences for the next
Oh,
half
see, now he's
hour
talking
or
to the
so
shorties.
before finally leaving them for good.
Oh, yeah.
The streamer
nah.
simply labeled it as an odd interaction from someone under the influence of something or another and continued
And,
on
yeah,
with their
and,
stream.
and there's no obviously because it's like what the hell are you supposed to think? Like the nigga just came to me, you know what I'm saying? You just a stream sniper or some shit, and then you just you know what I'm saying? I mean, you came to me, you tried to dab me up, so it's like you know me, so it's like I'm saying, could you be a crazy
Lacey
addict?
later uploaded an edited down version of this stream on his YouTube channel. And
But it's
that's when
not
he got
just
an email
that.
that made him realize the significance of what they
What
had
do you
just
talk
caught on
about this?
camera. 2 days after this video went up, Lacey received an email from a man named Trent claiming to be the brother of the guy seen in green shorts. It read, "Hello, my name is Trent Coleman, and my missing little brother from Michigan was on Clicks and Lacey's stream in Miami. He was wearing green shorts and they were making fun of him. He is not on drugs, he is schizophrenic, and he is 17 years old. If someone can contact me about this, I would be so thankful. He has been missing for 3 months, and his case was put on homicide in Michigan."
What?
In most cases,
Is-
emails like these are
what?
just trolls trying to mess with creators. However, after some research, Lacey discovered that Trent was actually telling the truth and posted this new development on Twitter stating, "3 months ago, a 17-year-old kid went missing and was put on homicide.
Oh, he
Yesterday
did
on
post it.
stream,
When?
he
I
came up
never
to me
seen
and
this.
Clicks, and now his family knows he is alive and in Miami. I wasn't sure if I should make this public, but I'm hoping somehow this helps him be found for his family." In a reply to his tweet, Lacey also attached an article that
Oh, that's
provided
him right
additional
there.
details about the case. Apparently, the teenager's name was Troy Coleman, and he had been missing from his home in Michigan since May of 2024. According to the article, Troy was last seen in Mount Morris Township around 9:30 a.m. on May 17th.
What the
In the 3
fuck?
months since his disappearance, he had somehow traveled from Michigan all the way to Miami.
Now,
with
how the fuck do you get from Michigan to Miami, nigga?
no medication,
fuck was you doing?
no money, and no clear explanation of how he got there. This was extremely concerning considering Troy's lack of vital medication for his schizophrenia was known to cause serious hallucinations. His sudden reappearance only deepened the mystery. With no leads and no logical explanation, Michigan police were left so baffled that they even began investigating his case as a potential homicide. So, the fact that Troy
What?
randomly appeared on Lacey and Clicks' stream and his brother just so happened to be watching that stream was nothing short of a miracle. But
Yeah, what the
somehow
fuck?
the
That's
coincidences
crazy
keep
as hell.
piling up, and what happened next
I
made the whole
never heard about
situation
this.
even stranger. While
What the
Troy was
fuck?
still on stream, another young fan approached the two streamers and tried to strike up a conversation. However, before he could even introduce himself, Troy interrupted them again and started saying something to the younger fan. He was still talking incoherently, which made the streamers even more uncomfortable and confused about his intentions. During this
Whoa,
time,
hey, why
he
did you
also-
just get where the fuck is this nigga's kids at? Boy, you just grab some random ass cut from a random ass nigga and you just gonna start stepping it? What the fuck is wrong with this? What are you doing? Your parents ain't teach you, nigga. Don't you talking to a stranger right now, and you sipping from the same cup. What you doing? Yo, it starts at home. It starts at home. You don't want your kid to go missing? I advise you to actually pay attention to what the fuck they're doing. because niggas should not be sipping on cups from niggas they don't know.
Gave the younger fan the styrofoam cup.
He might
was
as well take
holding.
some candy and hop in the
young
back
boy
of a fucking
quickly
white
took a
van
sip
at
of
this point.
whatever
What
was
the fuck
in
wrong
the
with this
cup and
nigga?
walked away.
Sipping
Lacey's
on cups and then
cameraman
walking away.
noticed the exchange and immediately pointed it out to the streamer.
What the hell did you
By
just
now,
give him?
they
And then
were
why you just
convinced
start
that Troy
sipping
was
on that shit?
drugs, and that raised a serious concern. Had he just given the kid something laced?
Are you
Not
sipping
wanting
on
to
lean,
ignore
man?
it, Lacey decided to confront Troy, asking him directly what was in the cup. But to their surprise, Troy's answer was a lot more coherent than expected. He simply stated that it was just a soft drink from Beacon Hotel.
What was in the drink? What was in that drink?
In the drink?
Yeah. You gave it to him.
It was Coke from Beacon Hotel.
Like Coca-Cola?
Coke from
Make sure,
Beacon
give it to the
Hood.
kid.
Yeah, you gave it to them.
This coincidental
Your stories, you gave it to a kid because you didn't want it. Nigga, the fuck? You could just tell a kid, oh yeah, some Coke. And he just start drinking it. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The kid is actually dumb as hell. And this nigga's dumb as hell with that response he just said.
interaction gave authorities the crucial
Nigga,
lead
fuck
they
about no
needed.
goddamn Coke from
Troy
no
was,
Beacon
in
Hotel,
fact,
boy.
staying at the very hotel he had mentioned. From there, it didn't take long for investigators to track down Troy.
They go
and
trying to
reunite
tell
with
me.
his family, who
I'm gonna
were
draw these damn
overjoyed
puzzle
to have him
pieces
back.
and shit.
In a later interview with People.com, Troy's father, Weston Coleman, shared even more heartbreaking details of what Troy went through. According to him, Troy actually wanted to visit Florida to find and meet celebrities. He did his research online and saved up as much money as he could before setting off. Troy made it to Atlanta by bus, but that's where things took a turn for the worst. During his stay in Atlanta, he was robbed of everything he had. Left with nothing, he traveled the rest of the way to Miami completely
And that's sad because it's fucking Atlanta. Oh my gosh, y'all living up to the fucking stereotypes. You damn it, Atlanta, bro. City of fucking thugs.
broke. Despite the hardship, his
He's a
family was ultimately
kid.
glad that he was still alive and well, with his father stating, "I'm just glad he's alive at this point and now can't believe we found him. We all feel a lot better and we thank everybody." From what I can find, Troy's been living with his family in Michigan ever since and has managed to stay out of any more trouble.
I hope so, nigga. Let me see if that nigga's in the chat,
On
boy.
August 3,
Where you at?
2013,
You be in Lacey's chat?
40-year-old James DiMaggio invited family friend Christina Anderson and her two kids, 8-year-old Ethan and 16-year-old Hannah, over to his home in Boulevard, California.
Oh no.
He claimed it was just a farewell visit before moving to Texas.
Oh, no.
And this wasn't anything unusual.
And you invited them over and you didn't go to their house. I'm not gonna lie, it's even worse, bro.
James had been a close friend with both Christina and her husband Brett for quite some time. And
Look
was
at
like an
the-
uncle
look
to
at
the
his
kids.
eyes.
And since Brett was away for a 3-month job in Tennessee, James helped the family regularly with things like driving Hannah to and from her gymnastics class. However, what seemed like
They
an
be the ones you fucking think that's never gonna do some shit. The ones you always close with. The ones that, oh, yeah, no, it's just down the block. You know what I'm saying? If I need him, he gonna be there. Yeah. He gonna be there to murder your family,
innocent
bro.
invitation.
Your whole
quickly turned
family
into a
gone, bro.
horrifying nightmare.
I already know.
It started on August 4 when the
Already know.
children's grandparents called the police and reported the family as missing after not hearing from Christina all day.
See?
They also informed the police about the family's plan to visit James. However, when investigators reached James's home, it was already engulfed in flames. Firefighters rushed to the scene and suppressed the fire. Unfortunately, they were too late. Inside the burnt house, they discovered the bodies of Christina Anderson, her son Ethan, and even the family dog. And while this could have been nothing more than a tragic
You took out the
accident,
family to take the daughter, bro?
the reality was far more cruel. Later autopsy discovered severe injuries on Christina. These included signs of plastic cable ties around her ankle and arms, duct tape marks around her neck and mouth, multiple fractures in her right arm and both legs, a cut on her neck, and signs of at least 12 heavy strikes to the head. Her 8-year-old son Ethan also had multiple
What the hell did you got a problem against the damn? Why you? Why, bro? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on.
fractures throughout his body.
There's no need for no
However, despite
mutilation,
the
bro.
horrific scene, there were no signs of
That's-
James or Hannah anywhere near the house. It didn't take long for
No need for
investigators
that
to
shit,
connect the
bro.
dots and realize that James DiMaggio was the mastermind behind this horrific
The
crime.
little kid.
It also became clear that he had
The
orchestrated the
dog.
murders not just out of violence, but with the intent to kidnap Hannah. His actions were calculated and driven by some twisted obsession as he took her from everything she had in her life. After learning about this, the police quickly issued a statewide Amber Alert in hopes of getting any information regarding James
sick,
and
sick
missing Hannah's
fucking man.
whereabouts. In the meantime,
She's fucking
investigators also
15.
discovered security footage of James passing through the Border Patrol checkpoint in Pine Valley at around 10 p.m.
You sick,
This
sick
also
man.
prompted them to launch a massive manhunt spanning the entire Pacific coast from British Columbia to Baja, California. However, despite the massive effort and the hundreds of man-hours put into the search, the manhunt turned up empty. Every lead
You telling me a manhunt that they can sit here and find? I'm telling you, bro, they'll find a black person quick as shit, but they can't find a little white girl. What you talking about, bro? The whole motherfucking country's over here trying to try to find her, boy. What you talking about? Manhunt couldn't find shit. Y'all motherfuckers is useless.
leads seemed to result in a dead end, and the odds of successfully rescuing
A
Hannah
reverse
started
Google
to
image
dwindle
search
with
on
every
Catfish
passing
TV
day.
and we would have found her.
Things looked bleak.
This nigga's tripping.
That is
Talk
until
about old
3
man
days
hunting.
later
I couldn't
when
find
two
no
horseback riders
fuck around.
spotted a man and a girl while trekking through the remote wilderness of Cascade, Idaho.
A weak
They
ass
had seen the
manhunt.
broadcast of Hannah's disappearance on TV and instantly recognized the young girl and her captor.
Oh my
They
gosh!
reported
Thank
the scene
God these people was on a horse and they seen that and they knew what was going on, bro. Stay up to date on the news, bro.
to authorities who instantly began investigating the area, and soon after they found James's car with its plates removed to avoid detection. However, it still took
Nah,
them
slick
3 more
boy.
days to track down the campsite James was hiding in. The FBI had set up a jet with a sophisticated long-range camera recording from thousands of feet above, which is what you're seeing now.
Oh,
This footage
I see
confirmed
it.
they had found the missing Hannah. On the 10th of August, the FBI took it upon itself to rescue Hannah and mobilized a tactical team for the mission. They kept eyes on James for some time, looking for the right moment to attack. However, he was sticking close to Hannah, which made it near impossible for the rescue team to make their move. Fortunately, after some time, James moved away to gather some firewood. And while he was completely
She was,
oblivious,
"Please,
Hannah
please,
actually
please
spotted
help
a
me,
rescue
please.
helicopter and started waving for help.
Please, she like,
This was
please.
the perfect opportunity, and the FBI didn't let it go to waste.
Y'all better
They
strike.
quickly moved in and carried Hannah to
All
safety.
units out, nigga. They own it.
After noticing the rescue mission, James took out one of the guns he had with him and fired at an officer. The rescue team then returned fire, resulting in him getting shot 6 times in the head, arms, and upper torso. He
Damn.
was finally safe.
But they put that in.
And while this
Damn.
was one of the most terrifying experiences
That's
a
what I like
teenage
to
girl
see.
can have, Hannah's managed to completely bounce back.
That's what I
She
like
is
to
now
see.
27 years old and is happily living with her husband and 1-year-old son in Vancouver, Canada.
Man, oh man. Man, I'm glad she's living a good life, bro.
On the 27th of
Oh
May,
man, I'm glad
2013,
she's living a good life, man. Hey man, they made sure to put that down.
at around 4 p.m., 73-year-old Robert McDonough disappeared from his home in Portland, Maine. Now, an elderly person
Fuck
going
outta here,
missing
nigga.
is extremely
Smoking
stressful
in
on
it.
its own. However, what made Robert's situation even more dire was the fact that he was also suffering from dementia. For those who don't know, dementia is a mental condition which makes it difficult to remember things, think clearly, or even recognize familiar faces. People with dementia can forget everything from their own names to the faces of loved ones, leaving them confused about where they are or how they got there. This can also extend to forgetting where they live. For someone with dementia, wandering outside
really
can
sad, though,
quickly
too.
turn from a harmless mistake to a life-threatening
This is
situation.
really sad.
A person with memory loss isn't just lost in terms of direction, they're lost in terms of identity and awareness. They forget how to care for themselves, how to recognize danger, and how to make decisions in an increasingly hostile world. These conditions could prove to be lethal for a healthy young adult.
Very
and the
sickening,
danger
man.
is increased
Scary, bro.
tenfold for a frail
Sad
elderly
too, bro.
man
It's
trying
real
to
sad.
navigate a world that no longer makes sense to him.
Shit's
He
sad.
could have easily wandered into traffic or tripped and fallen in a remote area, and no one would have known. Put simply, Robert's life was in extreme danger. This is also why the authorities moved quickly after receiving the missing report and began searching every corner of the city within hours of his disappearance.
Search and rescue teams spent more than 14 hours searching an area of Leamington after 73-year-old Robert McDonough, who has dementia, disappeared Monday afternoon. Around 6 a.m., search teams were briefed and started to intensify their effort.
It was going into the second operational period, which means we're starting to ramp up using a lot
And
of GPS
nobody had no-
technology. Well, again, we'd have our
There's no
pilots,
locks on
we'd
his
have
door to keep this nigga
ATVs,
from
K9s.
leaving or
However,
nothing,
they
bro.
were having a hard time figuring out where Robert could have gone. When someone with dementia goes missing, searching for them is not like searching for someone who's just wandered off. In most cases, they don't even realize they're lost at all. They might walk aimlessly or even retrace the same steps without ever reaching familiar ground. Their confusion can send them in any direction, far from where they should be. But then, about 14 hours into the search, something happened that no one saw coming. On May 28 at 6:30 a.m., a reporter from Portland's local network was recording a section about the disappearance of Robert on the street, when, out of nowhere, an old man walked into the frame.
What the hell? This nigga just back there walking menacingly. That's scary as hell. He just back there walking. They're like,
At
huh?
first, the reporter brushed him off as just another bystander. But after a few moments, he suddenly realized who the elderly man was. This was Robert McDonough, or Bob as he went by, the man everyone was looking for.
Anybody give a phone call?
Calling the warden service. They're at the
I'm still on the phone
This
with
is
the-
Bob. This is
Bob
you
Allen.
identify him as Bob McDonald?
I think so. It's Bob McDonough. Yeah.
He looks a lot like a
Watch
guy.
yourself.
like-
Watch
Yeah.
yourself here, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my
Bob
God,
McDonough.
found bro.
Fortunately, he was completely unharmed, despite being out in the cold all night. Upon realizing his identity, the news crew immediately contacted the authorities. And it wasn't
Shout
long
out to
before
the news
Robert was
team.
reunited with his family. But here's the thing. Robert returning like this was nothing more than a stroke of good luck. While his story had a somewhat happy ending, it could have just as easily turned into an irreparable loss.
Very true, bro. Very true. Just thank God he made it back home safe, bro. This old nigga could have been cooked. You would have been cooked. It was a good video. It was a good video. It was a good one. It was a good